Good morning, fellow students. Welcome to exam-based contact session 2019. My name is Lucas Kahare, and I'm a tutor for this subject, Educational Research 2. So I hope that you are going to listen very careful and pick up the main points. So I'm happy that, and I also think that you are doing your assignment properly, and this assignment will help you qualify for the examination, April examination 2019. And this examination, there will be 3 examinations, for example, April, May, and August, and also November. All these 3 examinations are all composed in these tutorial classes. So I hope that you have to listen very careful. So if you won't make it in for the first session, for example, first examination in April, maybe you can go for the August. So it's all contained in these contact classes. So as I said, the subject is Educational Research 2, and for the program called Bachelor of Education Honors Degree students. And the code is there as it's indicated on the slide. So let us start and discuss what are the main components of examination 2019. So let's just go thoroughly about information which is expected from you, or which you must follow in the examination, as it's an examination rule. So which means in the examination you should be expected to answer all the questions. So I have learned and found out that some students just answer a few questions and they just left a lot of space unanswered. So this will even lead you to fail the examination. Please don't leave the question unanswered. Just try your best to answer all the questions. So I know that you are reading the study guide, and if you read all the units and repeat all the units all the time, I don't think that, so when you read the question, so read it again and try just to read your accumulation knowledge, so what you know about the question. Somehow you will get some points. Just don't leave space like that open, so you end up losing marks. And also you are advised to answer questions based on the marks allocation. For example, if the question asks define or list, is different from the question like analyze, discuss, describe. So those questions like analyze, discuss, describe, it can contain, for example, 10 marks. Then just list maybe 4 items or 2 items, or just define a simple term. So you have to answer based on also on marks allocation. So if the question contains 10 marks, you have to give more facts and discuss more into detail, not just a few lists of facts. So there you end up losing marks, and you must write clearly, okay, neatly and legibly, so that a tutor can be able to read your handwriting. So don't just write according to your, to your own understanding. You have to make sure that what you are writing is other people are able to read your handwriting. So I'm not only the tutor who's going to mark your script. There are other tutors there. So I'm just the subject head of this course, but when it comes to marking, other tutors might use the marking scheme. So you make sure that your handwriting is clear. So I hope that you are aware that this subject, for examination, will consist of 130 marks. Even in your assignment also, for your assignment, you are answering questions which total up to 130 marks. So you must prepare. It's almost a 3-hour paper, okay, for this subject. It is a 3-hour paper. So students So it's not a joke, just study to prepare now. And this subject, I have just discovered that maybe 50% can only pass the subject, okay, for such specific examination. So it's not that simple, just read more. So I mean, it's not difficult, but as long as you read all the units and then accumulate knowledge, and then you are able to interpret, okay, you are able to pass these subjects. So if you start from now and also using your knowledge of assignments that you read. So in the examination, you are only guaranteed that you pass if you get 50% of the examination. 50% of the examination is about 65. You know that the total marks is 130. So 50% of 130 is 65. You must get 65 out of 130 marks in the examination for you to pass the examination. The exam. So even you did very well for your for your assignment, for your continuous assessment, CA, but in the examination you get 40%, which means you are not allowed, to proceed, which means you have to repeat the subject or write a supplementary. So you make sure that you study to make sure that you must get 50% and above. And the most important thing is also that for your own knowledge, that the final mark, the final mark, so which will appear on the student portal for you to see that if you pass or fail to the subject, is that 60% of the examination plus 40% of the continuous assessment. 40% is from your assignment. Let me say, so it's like 130 marks of your assignment. Okay, so these marks will be converted into 40%. And also in your examination, 130 marks, and these marks will be converted into 60%. So 40% plus 60% is 100 marks. So that will be your final marks. For example, if in your assignment you get 30% out of 40, and then maybe in the examination you get, let me say maybe 40, then you'll get 40 plus 30 is 70. So that's just your own knowledge you have to know so that you can prepare very well. And you make sure that in the examination, you should not copy or come with other papers in your pocket or in your hand. So it's not allowed. So you make sure that you are prepared and only come there with any with the materials or equipment which is allowed in the examination room. So, and I don't want students to be, their exam to be cancelled for this subject because of cheating. Let's come to the main important things. Point. This subject, Educational Research 2, it has 19 units. It has 19 units. And for you, where you can find all these units, it's in your study guide. So I hope that everybody is supplied with or given a study guide. It's from Unit 1 up to Unit 19. Okay? So it's not that much a lot. So if you read, for example, every day you take some even 30 minutes. So in a month you are done reading this book, and also you can do revision. So the learning outcome that you are required to know is from Unit 1 up to 19. So it says that study all the units in your study guide, and you should be able to analyze evidence-based inquiry and research characteristics. So this is a topic for Unit 1. This is a topic for Unit 1. So let me just show you from your from the table of content in your study guide. I just want to make it simple for you to read and also understand the main points where you should focus. It's there. Okay. Unit 1 is this one. So what is needed is here, learning activities, learning outcomes. 1.1, you should know the importance of educational research. Okay, you should know that, and so I'm not going to explain every things here. I'm just giving you the point where you should focus in your study guides. You should know the importance of educational research. Why is educational research is important? Okay, and I think even in your assignment this question is there, why it's so important. And also you should know the source of research questions and problems. And also you are able also to read, for example, research topic of Namibian educational practices. For example, they have list of research topics in Namibia. For example, how can a school leadership improve the education system? How is the use of information technology can improve the education system? So these are some of the topics that you need to know. So it might be asked, for example, how is the following topic is able to improve the education system? And also approaches to educational research, and research and research method defined, characteristic of evidence-based research, comparison quantitative and qualitative research approaches, and you should also know function of research, basic, applied, evaluation, and action research. And you must also know limitation of research. That is Unit 1. So, dear students, that is what you must know for the Unit 1. I know that in your book there are a lot of information in those topics, and you must read them very well, and you should be able to understand those. I mean, in Unit 1 and the learning outcomes, what's expected from you. And in Unit 2, if you look at on a PowerPoint slide here, we are going to, it says that discuss research design and criteria for evaluating research. So here you are going to discuss some research design. So let me just simply go through, I mean, just to give and highlight what is this all about. For example, this subject, so it will give you an understanding for you to do, I mean, for you to do your final research projects for this honors degree. So I think this will be your final year where you are going to be given to write a research proposal, and from there to write a thesis. So now you will be either able to use different type. You have to choose which research design or research type are you going to use. For example, if you are going to use a quantitative research method, or qualitative research method, or mixed research methods. So these are the things which you have to understand. So in this subject, you have to understand the whole, I mean, theoretical overall of educational research. And in your final year projects or thesis, then you will apply this knowledge on how to use it in practically. So in Unit 2, discuss research design and criteria for evaluating research. As it's here, let's just see on the table of content. Yes, on table of content there. Let me just shift. Okay. So you will be the learning outcome will be, you must know what is research design. You should know the definition of research design, and you should know research type and types of research. Okay, you should know that one. And you should also know the experimental research and non-experimental research. What is this? For example, a quantitative research. Okay, quantitative research can be classified in experimental and non-experimental research. And also you should know also research for qualitative research types, design, mixed method research, and also you should know design of analytical method of research types. You should know those ones. And also this one also you can also read through. And let's go to Unit 3. Okay, yes, for the Unit 3, you are going to examine the theory and examples of research problems, questions, and hypotheses. Yes, in this one, for you to write a research project or thesis, you should have what? Research problems. And then formulate questions and use hypotheses. Okay, for example, if you want to evaluate, for example, the failure rate, for example, in commerce region. Okay, yes, the grade 10 failure rate in commerce region, or maybe in Omaheke region. So what, for example, you want to find out what are the causes of higher failure rate, okay, and how to solve it. So that is the problem that you have to come up, okay? Reasons that causes the grade 10 to fail in commerce region compared to other regions. So then you have to research on and find out what are those factors or problems, and then you should come up with a solution, which means you come up already with a project. So in this one now, you will learn on how to formulate research problems, questions, and use the hypothesis. So into 3, what is the main point there is this one. You should know source of research problems, where can you find it, significance and feature of research problems, and classification of variables, conceptual and operational definitions. And also you should know experimental and non-experimental research questions. You should know that. Most also important, you should also know research hypothesis and null hypothesis. Okay, what are the difference? For example, you should know that what is research hypothesis and null hypothesis. And also you are able to, you are also needed, you must also know about writing qualitative research problems and research questions. And research problem in qualitative research types. You should also know this. And from there, you can also read through that. So let's also just look at on Unit 4, the features of a literature review. So here in this one, you should be able to understand what is a literature review. So when you are going to, you have your research topic and problems. And then from there, you have to go out there in the library and find out the other informations. So what others have written or what others have found based on your topic. So you have to deeper go on to find the primary source, and also maybe also a secondary source. For example, for you, maybe yes, if you find already a written books or a written documentation, which means now you are using a secondary source in that. But yes, a primary source are the first facts which have been already written. For example, this can be maybe the first interview, or maybe, yes, the document which is written, a newspaper, and so on. Those are primary source. So you have to get out there and get those information to help you understand your topic and have more knowledge on your topic. So these are then you will understand here what is the importance of a literature review. So you must know that one, and it is very much important. Why do you need a literature review? And that is also very much important. And the standard of adequacy for the literature review, and also weakness, strength and weakness of internet searches is very much important. On to 3. Strength and weakness of internet searches. So why it's that the importance of using internet? Okay. Yes, the importance of using internet in your research projects, since nowadays the technology is available. So the strength and the weakness of using internet search, you must know that one. And also you must know the range of education website available in the world. So for you also you should know that one, because it will help you to find more information for your final projects. So you should be concerned about this, this subject to give you more knowledge for your final project. The main thing is your final thesis for the honors degree is very much important. And also 4.7. And also explanation of standard of adequate for literature review, 4.9. That's Unit 4. Unit 5. Yes, so Unit 5 is about quantitative research design. So Unit 5, quantitative research design, which means you learn that the purpose of research design of quantitative, the principle of validity in quantitative research, should know that one. And also the features of research ethics, format and content of research consent form. Okay, you should know all that one. For example, in your Unit 5 is very much important. That is a quantitative research design where you have to use numbers. For example, you have to collect, for example, you want to know maybe, you want to know the difference between female and male student who failed grade 10 in 2017. Okay, the difference. So, and the reason. So I think that this one you will use a quantitative research methods. Okay, yes, you will state your reasons, and also you will collect data about the number or the percentage of students, of female students and male students who failed grade 10 2017. So this one you have to use a statistics to analyze, to find the median, the mean, and so on, for you to verify your data. You will use a quantitative research design. Okay, and Unit 6, yes, we are moving on Unit 6. Yes, in Unit 6, it's very much important, that topic, Unit 6, dimension of quantitative design, participant, subjects, and sampling. Okay? The difference between unit of study and unit of analysis. So you must know that one. Okay? What's a unit of study and the unit of analysis. 6.1 should know, and also should know what is population sample. What is a population sample? Okay. And also should know types of probability and non-probability sampling. Okay. For example, are you able to define what is what is probability and what is non-probability sampling and their examples? You should know that one. Probability sampling method and non-probability sampling method. And also should know the strength and weakness of probability and non-probability sampling. And you should also know estimating a sufficient sample of size for quantitative studies. And also you should know how volunteer samples and non-volunteer samples differ. Okay? You should know this. Unit 6 is very much important. You should read that through. And let's take Unit 7. Let's see Unit 7. Just hold it proper so that we can able to see. Yes. Unit 7 is about descriptive statistics. You should know the concept of statistics and also descriptive statistic and inferential statistics. What is the difference, okay, of descriptive statistics and inferential statistics? That's Unit 7. It's very much important for Unit 7, that one. So you must take care of that one. And numbers, measurement scales, and nature of data. Should know that one. And also should know example of graphic pictorial data. And you should also know the meaning, what is the mean, the median, mode, and descriptive and the description of data, of description. You should know that one. And also you should know distribution and the relationship among measures of central tendency. Okay? And you should also know measures of variability description data, the use and the value of measures of relationships. Unit 7. Okay? So all this is in your study guides. All this just in your study guide. Just read proper. Let's check Unit 7. Okay, before we proceed to Unit 7, so we have looked at it on the first, before we go to Unit 8, so far we have looked at on number of research methods. For example, we have looked at qualitative research methods and quantitative research methods. And also, as we move further, we look at also on mixed research methods. So in Unit 6 and 7, probably we talked more about quantitative research method where you apply with statistics. And yes, the exam also has much focus on that. Yes, where the statistics, for example, you collect data and then from there you find the median, the mean, and also you are able to draw the graph. For example, maybe you have given the test in your class, maybe grade 4 or grade 7 test. Maybe there are 20 students in your class and you have marked. So from there you are able to find the average pass mark. For example, you find the sum of those 20 students' marks, then divided by 20. And also you have to find, for example, the mode, so the number which appears more. For example, if many students got 50 or 60, so if students got 60, a lot of them, then you can see that at least maybe they progressed better. But if they get maybe 40 or 30, you can see that student didn't progress well. So then you have to find out what are the reasons. Maybe you can change your method of teaching, or your method, the way you approach, the culture in your classroom, or maybe you can change teaching and learning resources, give to learners more resources and so. So those are, for example, quantitative research methods where you use statistics to analyze data. So you collect the data, you analyze it, okay? Then formulate, then from there you put it into writing and then find a conclusion. So let us just also take Unit 8. Let's just take on Unit 8. Collecting of quantitative data of using statistics. See here, let me just put it well. Unit 8, the collecting of quantitative data. Learning outcomes. Okay. Test for collecting data and learners' proficiency, and you should know that. And alternative test for collecting data on learners' proficiency, you should also know that one. And also you just know most of the things here, like 1.8 up to 1.12, where what can you do or don't do in interview, okay? For example, you should also know steps in developing questionnaires, and the use of interview for preparations, and what you should do in interview, and also, for example, observation, and also the strength and the weakness of data collecting techniques. For example, what are the strengths of using interview, and what are the weakness of using interview as a method of collecting data. In the Unit 9, yes, we are almost there. Unit 9. Here in Unit 9, you will learn non-experimental research design, survey, and secondary data analysis. Here you will learn about the purpose, advantage, and disadvantage of survey. Okay, you should know those ones, the purpose and the advantage and the disadvantage of survey. Why it's that one, advantage and then the disadvantage. And then steps in survey research, you should know that one. And also design and use of online survey, you should also know that one. Advantage and disadvantages of online survey. Okay? And also you should know the rest. That is Unit 9. And let's also go to Unit 10. For the Unit 10, sorry. Okay. For the Unit 10, you should know, for example, experimental and quasi-experimental and single subject design. Okay. Characteristic of experimental research. Okay, let me just put it properly so that you can know it went okay. Okay, Unit 10, characteristic of experimental research. Strength and limitation of experimental research, and threat and statistical of conclusion of validity. You should know what is validity research. Internal construction and external validity. Okay, you should know that one. What's the difference of internal validity and external validity? So that is there, and the other also you should know. And on Unit 11, learning outcomes for this is the reporting of inferential data. Okay, for example, you collected the information from a larger population, just a sample, and then you have to do research on that information. I mean, on that data you collected. That is inferential data. So you should know what is the concept of inferential statistics, the null and alternative hypothesis, and also you should know the type and type 2 error in interpreting the level of significance of the null hypothesis. Okay, it's very much important. Unit 11. And also you should know the single sample test and 2 sample tests. For example, this one in 11.4, this you must know all this one. And also ANOVA test for the null hypothesis. You should also know those ones. And the concept, so design of qualitative research. This is now we come to qualitative research. Unit 12. Okay. Unit 12. That is a design of a qualitative research. What is qualitative research according to Griswell? You should know, and the characteristics of qualitative research. Also, you should know. So let me not just be properly explained to you where, for example, Unit 12, the Unit 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yes, just read also more, okay? Read through that one. Also read more about the facts, because it will also help you to understand. Because since we don't have time, so I tried, for example, most of the presentation I just used to explain what you should do and study all the unit. But I don't usually state unit by unit. So if I state unit by unit, so it will take us maybe more time, 2 hours or so, but we're just given less than 1 hour. So please know Unit 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, also know, also 19. But let me just look at specifically on Unit, also Unit 14. Okay, I'm just going to pick up some units. Unit 14, let me just put it proper. The process of inductive analysis. What is inductive analysis and different analysis of style and analysis of qualitative data? Okay, you should also know that ones. And also know advantage and disadvantage of mixed method research, types of mixed methods, and sampling in mixed method research. Okay, know that one. And 16 also, you should know the concept of analytical research, the uses of conceptual and historical research. Yes, know also Unit 16. But basically, let's just focus more on Unit 19. I mean, yes, 18 and 19. Yes, 18 and 19. Let's just go there, 18 and 19. Okay. Unity 18, feature of action research. So please know the concept of action research and the benefit of action research for practice and the characteristic of research, traditional research compared. For example, the characteristics of action and traditional research, you should compare those type of research for Unity 18. And let's now, the main focus, let's just look at also components of research proposal. So this is very much important, where you should focus more. The learning outcome, review the feature of research proposal. So what is a research proposal? For example, after passing this subject, because this subject will first, for example, it will equip you to understand the terminology of research and the method types and the research methods which you are going to use in your final projects. So after that, for you to be accepted, to graduate, you should write your final thesis or projects. For this one, first you have to state your research proposal. So your research proposal is stating the main point, the area, the topic which you want to research. And in that topic, you should explain why it is important that you want to research on that topic. And what do you want to find out? And what are the solutions? Okay? First, once your research proposal is accepted by your research supervisor, then you continue just to proceed with your project. For example, from there, then you go out and collect data. Okay, collecting data or information. For example, now using the method of collecting data, like you go there using like interview, questionnaires, okay, audio or visual recording, and you will do document review, okay, and so on. Probably there are 5 main methods of collecting data. So you should know that one and explain them. So what is an interview, okay? What is a questionnaire, and how it's the advantage and disadvantage. Can be asked, maybe discuss 5 methods of collecting data. So in this, so a research proposal, that's what, okay. You have to select a topic and then defend why is your topic is important, and what do you want to find out to research on, and the solutions that you want to find out, the final results you have to provide. And from there, then you have to continue with your thesis. So now let's just understand what are the, okay, let me just put the slide. Features of research proposal. What information should your research proposal should consist of? Features of research proposal. So you should know the following, and you should discuss it into more detail. It's very much important. Even, for example, for examination, it's up to 19.1 up to 19.11, I think that. So in your research proposal should contain the following information: orientation to the research problem. For example, for you to go around, what is that research all about? What are the problems about your research? Okay, which means, for example, research problem. Okay, and then you come up with the statement of research problem after finding the topic, and so then you come up with your research problem, Then objective of the research. What do you want to find out? Okay, discuss more. Objective of the study. And the significance of the study. You should also know that one. Definition of key concepts. What are the key? Because there are some key concepts that you will have to use in your research. So you must know those concepts, the keywords. Preliminary literature review. Okay, you have to list also some literature review. Research design and methodology. So your research either used quantitative or qualitative or mixed research. And the research ethics. Okay, how did you conduct your research? Chapter planning, time frame, and references. Okay, the list of sources where you got the information is very much important. You should know all this in your research proposal. These are the things you should contain in your research proposal. And also 19.2, the difference between component of research proposal and the nature of thesis or dissertation. Okay, you should know what is a research proposal and also what is a thesis. And 19.3, component of qualitative and quantitative research proposal. For example, if you have chosen to follow the qualitative or quantitative, what are the components of research proposal? Because they differ. Okay, the other one use numbers. Okay, the other one just use information where you have to get out, for example, maybe using audio-visual recording. For example, that's good for qualitative research. And for quantitative research, so it is, for example, maybe you can go there and interview people, or maybe using an observation methods. Okay, where maybe you have to find numbers and then change that number in, for example, to show the graphs, put it into statistic, or in Excel to analyze data and draw graphs. And the component of mixed method proposal, how to apply the APE referencing style. So you have to know this is very much important in your research. So you will just deal with your research supervisor for next year, maybe after next year. So we'll tell you which referencing style is used, but here yes, they recommended APA referencing. And also a guideline for writing research report, dissertation, thesis. For example, after your research proposal has been accepted, then you should know the guidelines, how you should write your research proposal. So shortly, that is just what I wanted to just to tell you, because I always just use PowerPoint presentation, and I find out that students don't understand it that much, and you have problem, or you always call. So that's why, and so I have to explain. No, if you want more information, look in Unity 4 or Unity 3 on this page for you to find. So that's why I just used the table of content for you to focus. And this tab and this presentation table of content, it has also pages where you can find it. So though it was not clearly shown, it's on the slide, but you should. But I just showed you the units and also these numbers. So you should know this, very much important. So I just changed my method for you to explain to you, to understand where you should focus, instead of for me focusing on a PowerPoint presentation. So actually on our PowerPoint presentation, let's go to the next slide. Next topic. Since we discussed about the learning outcome, where you should focus. So we discussed about Unity 1 up to Unity 19, okay, in your study guide. You should know that, but I told you must focus more on, for example, Unity 1, There's maybe up to Unit 10. Okay, I'm not saying, and from there maybe also Unit 18. Yes, but mostly read all the units. And I just explained to you the table of content, and I marked the topics or the learning outcome where you should focus more. Please keep on reading. So let's now go to our last activity for today. Our last activity for today, I'm just giving you a homework. Okay, if you look at on our PowerPoint slide. Okay, let me just keep this away because since I'm done with it. Yeah, okay, good. So let's just do our last activity. Homework. So I'm just going to give you homework now. Example of questions. Okay, these are not questions in the exam, but these are I just compiled questions to keep you busy. Okay, and please answer all these questions. You should answer all these questions. And when we went through all the units, some of the questions are here also. For example, should be able to describe and give example of each of the concepts shown below. What is a descriptive statistic and what is inferential statistics? Okay, describe it, and then give example. Question 1. Question 2. You should be able to tabulate the advantage and the limitation of using interview in quantitative research. Okay, what is the advantage of using interview as a method of data collection? What are the limitations, which means what you are limited to? And 3, discuss research area that are considered important by the Namibia Educational Research Association, NERA. What are the research areas? For example, school leadership is one of the research topic or area that you need to research on. How the school leadership affect the education system or the performance of learners. And information and communication technology, how the modern technology can improve or affect education of learners or schools. And also teaching English or even teaching mathematics, how this affects the education in Namibia. And also HIV and AIDS, those are areas how this affects the education system. So these are the areas which you can research on. Okay, you can research on, for example, on school leadership. Okay, class management, okay? Classroom management. Okay, how to get the resources. You can research on the technology which you can use in the education, which is information and communication. And you can how can, for example, diseases or health effects on education, like AIDS and HIV and so on. Discuss the research areas. I think this one also in your assignment. They also describe 4 main categories of experimental research design. Okay? Experimental research design. Please know those one. Experimental research design. 4 categories. 5, state the difference between structure of a research proposal and thesis or dissertation. This is Unit 19. We just discussed it. Okay, what are the structure? What the difference of research proposal? Okay, a research proposal is just a paper that you state the topic of your projects and why do you want to research on that topic and what do you want to find out. Okay. And the thesis is that one is a final project now after being accepted. For example, the deeper finding out how it should be, for example, the layout of your thesis. And for example, the collection of data. You collected data, you analyze, and you find. So that information is what we call a thesis. Okay, you state your idea that you proposed. Okay, in your project, and then from this one you go and collect the data, you analyze the data, you formulate the data, and then you have a conclusion. And also you find out which research method, either quantitative or qualitative research, you used. And 6 is describe the difference between probability and non-probability sampling and give example of each probability. Okay? Okay, and also you know, for example, what's a sampling? Okay, population sampling. Okay? For example, maybe you want to find out, yes, who's the tallest man in Windhoek. Okay? Yes, maybe you will go out and measure certain people, not because there are a lot of, so you can't just measure in everybody's height. So you just go and collect some samples and then analyze and find the average. It's not necessary. That is called sample. Okay, a portion of information in a total population. State 3 advantage and 3 disadvantage of online survey. Okay, online survey, what advantage? Okay, for example, disadvantage can be for example, only children is able maybe to have access to internet. So, and people maybe who live outside for example, not in Windhoek or at the village, will not be able to participate in the survey because, for example, they don't have technology or internet at the village. So that's one of the disadvantage. Okay, advantage of online survey, for example, it's faster. Okay, yes, it's faster and it uses modern technology and it can be accurate. 8, discuss the strength and weakness of using internet search in research. Okay, why is using internet in research is important? Advantage, strength and weakness. Describe on how quantitative and qualitative research differ in their research strategies. So what are the difference between quantitative and qualitative research method that you have chosen to follow in your research projects? So students, thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you all the best for the examination next year, 2019 examination. And I think that for this contact session, it's clearly explained where you should focus. So now I came up with a table of content just to show you. So you have this already. You have that table of content already in your study guide, and I marked, so it's easier for you. I know that there are a lot of informations, but my advice to you is just read all the unit 1 up to unit 19. So I don't give, students information. So this is focus unit 1 and leave unit 2. No, not like that. But I just make it clear. So if you are able to understand it, where you should focus, yes, you are able to. So I thank you very much, and my email is there, kahare.lucas@yahoo.com. You are welcome, and you can write me the email where you don't understand. So yes, I do answer sometimes. Yes, mostly always when you write me emails, I give you the feedback, or either call me because you have my number on your assignment.